Now, if I were to ask, what are those moments for Aamir Khan? What would you say?
I don't know, ask them, yeah. sorry? Yeah, no, I don't know. I think it's for you all to decide what are my iconic moments. For me, each film is equally important and has been a very important journey, every film that I've done. So, it's just out of how I am as a personality that I've picked different scripts. And I've always gone with what excites me personally. See, a lot of film people tend to try and second guess the audience. So what is it that I should make today? So the obvious answer is what people are watching, what are the films running nowadays in the market. So you try and make that genre. If it's action, you make action. If it's comedy, you try and pick up a comedy film. But I've never thought that way. I've not been able to think that way. I pick films based on my own personal excitement towards the story. And that often, in fact most often, that goes against what is the norm at that time. I remember when I was doing an action film for the first time, Gajni. Action was out. And everyone told me कि यार तू अभी action कर रहा है, oh, action film में नहीं चल रही आजकल. So Gajni came and again action came into fashion. But so I always, actually when you're saying star, I don't know how I became a star. By all logic, I should not have been a star. I broke all the rules and I did everything impractical. So ऊपर वाला मेहरबान है मेरे पे कि मुझे इतनी इज्जत और सक्सेस मिली है, वरना प्रैक्टिकली मैंने सारे जो स्टेप्स लिए थे वो सक्सेस के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से नहीं थे. इनफैक्ट मोस्ट ऑफ देम, मतलब ऑलमोस्ट एवरी फिल्म आई यूज्ड टू पिक अप. I used to be like, I don't know whether this is going to work. I mean, like Sarfarosh, Lagan. When we were releasing the film, we had no idea if people are going to like it or not like it. You heard Javed Saab saying, he told us don't make the film. Lagan, then there was even Dil Chahta was very unusual for its time. Tare Zameen Par, all these films that I've picked, they were not meant to be successful, but they became, so I'm glad.
So today, when this year you chose another off the beaten track subject, and you've technically worked with him on Yadon Ki Barat, even though so when you recall him as an actor, from the viewpoint of an actor, not somebody who knew him outside the industry, what would you say you saw in him?
Well, I've grown up watching him, and I mean, he was known as the action hero and the He-Man, and of course he was extremely good, portraying these strong characters, action films. He was very good at that. But I think I don't know whether people have really noticed. I think he's underrated. His performances in romance or different genres, he's done so well. Comedy, my God.
Yeah.
He does amazing comedy, he does amazing romance, dramas. So according to me, Dharamji was right up there as one of the finest actors that we have. So I've really looked up to him always. And I mean, what a handsome person. Today, in fact, I'm not there in Bombay, but today is his prayer meeting. Unfortunately, I'm missing it. And I was very close to him because in the last 1 year, I must have met him about 7-8 times.
Oh.
Yeah. Because I used to really enjoy his company, so I used to go and sit with him. One day I took Azad with me, my son. I said, I want you to meet someone. Because Azad has not seen his work really. But Azad came with me and we spent a couple of hours with him and it was really wonderful. Dharamji was not only such a fine actor, but he was a great human being. He was so gentle. He was like a gentle giant. And he was very loving, no matter who he would meet, whether it's a colleague, whether it's someone from not in the industry, he would always be very warm and soft in meeting people, always. So he was a wonderful person, he was a great actor, and it's a great loss for all of us, He's really an institution. Satyakam, you see his films, amazing films. Then those Chupke Chupke Se, was Rishikesh Mukherjee?
Chupke Chupke.
Chupke Chupke. So he's done all kinds of all kinds of genres. He's done offbeat films also, and he's really an amazing. And we've really, we've lost a really amazing talent, I would say, and someone who we can all really learn from even now as we watch his films. And he had such a command over his language. I mean, his Hindustani was so, itni saaf unki zaban thi. It was amazing to hear him. Even in live events when he would speak, he had such grace. Amazing grace.
Yeah.
I remember I was there at a book launch for Yusuf Saab Dilkumar's, and there he spoke so in such dignity, and really, it's a big loss for all of us. And I'm fortunate I got to spend some time with him. In fact, Lahore, the film we've made with Sunny, I had the good fortune of showing him the film. So he's seen the film. It's not released yet, of course. But I was so glad because this was one of his favorite scripts.
This is Rajkumar Santoshi's.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm so glad he got to see the film.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Approve, and the one line works and everything happens, and something happens and the film doesn't quite click. Does it make you doubt yourself? Or do you look for reasons why this could have happened?
Well, fortunately, so far, almost every film that I have loved, which I have been a part of, has succeeded. And of the films I've done, the films that I also did not like, मुझे भी लगा कि film अच्छी नहीं बनी है, those are the ones that have not worked. So when you're asking me, do you get confused that my decision is wrong? Actually, so far my decision has been right. So I feel rather confident, actually, to be honest. Because, for example, Thugs of Hindustan did not do well. I was not very happy with the film, and I was not expecting it to do well, and it did not do well. So one of the few films I thought would do well and did not do well was Lal Singh Chaddha. Actually, I thought it was quite a good film, but I have to accept that a lot of people didn't connect with it, and that was a learning for me. Yeah. So it didn't make me doubt myself. See, you have to also remember that filmmaking is an extremely difficult process. There are certain stages in filmmaking, and there are about 10-15 of them. You can go wrong in any one of them. And if you go wrong in any one of them, most likely your film is not going to work. So it's the writing process. You have to get the writing bang on. Then the prep. The casting has to be perfect. The locations have to be perfect. Your collection of the crew is so important. They're going to make the film. So the prep becomes very important. If you make mistakes in the prep, you're going to have trouble in the shoot. Then the shoot process. You have to get every decision right in the shoot, which takes your okaying, which you're not. Is the scene coming out the way it should come out? This applies to every scene. Thousands of things can go wrong on set. Once you've shot it, you can go wrong in the editing. Once you've edited, you can go wrong in the sound. Once the sound treatment is excellent and the sound design is great, you can mess up the film in mixing. With great sound and everything, if I just mix it badly, it'll sound horrible. And if I've got all of that right, I still need a good release date, I need a good promotions, I need good marketing. So if you get all of these steps right, then your film works. So it's easier to make a flop, very difficult to make a hit, if you know what I mean. Because we go wrong, we are human beings, all of us, sometime or the other, we go wrong. And so I don't blame filmmakers, when a film doesn't work. I know that a lot of people, when they see a film, "Arey, kya bakwas film banai hai." I also feel कि film अच्छी नहीं बनाई, but I know कि हर film में इतनी मेहनत लगती है. और वो टीम जो बनाने चली थी, वो तो अपने मन से सुपर हिट बना रही थी. That team has thought that they are making a good film. They have put their emotion in it. At least we must respect that. Yes, we did not like the film, but I never make fun, of people who fail in filmmaking, because I feel it's a difficult thing. Cinema hall means they want to be entertained. I'm sharply aware that my primary responsibility to my audience is to give them a good time, is to entertain them. But the word entertain is not just make you laugh. I can make you cry also and entertain you. Basically, I want to engage you in one way or the other. I can scare you by making a horror film. I can make a suspense thriller. I can make a family drama. Like different genres. So, sorry, where was I? Lost my track.
Social.
So I'm not actively looking here. For example, right now I'm looking for my next film. I'm deciding which one to do. So I'm not thinking, or not in the past have I ever thought that which is the next social topic I should pick up. That does not occur to me at all. I'm only interested in doing films which excite me and scripts which I think are great. Now, it's maybe the kind of person I am. So I'm not thinking like that. I'm looking at scripts. When I hear the script of Tare Zameen Par, I'm seeing that the script is a really rock solid script. When I'm listening to the script of Three Idiots, which is actually a social story, it's a social message that the film has about education, and where it's saying really important things, but it's a great script. So the first attraction for me is the great script. And if that great script is also telling us something which is socially relevant, Sone pe suhaga, it's all the better. But I'm not trying to look for social themes. Now, it may sound odd because I've done so many films which are social, so it feels odd that I'm saying this. Clearly, I must have gone after social themes, but the fact is I haven't. But I think two things have happened. One is just because of my upbringing, the kind of person I am, I think I get, attracted to certain slightly different things. And the other thing is that I've had the good fortune of these great writers coming to me with such good scripts. If Tare Zameen Par script had not come to me, I would not have done it. So all these films which I'm getting the credit for, the first credit has to go to the writer. He thought of the story. He or she sat alone and came up with this idea, the characters, the story, the theme, research. When you're making a social topic, you have to do a lot of research. So these writers actually need to get the credit for that. And I feel I'm fortunate कि मेरे सामने वो कहानी आ गई. नहीं आती तो मैं नहीं करता. So I think it's a combination of, fortunately a lot of writers came up with social themes which I really liked. For example, Dangal is again one very important one. Lapata Ladies, So as it turns out, when I look back, a lot of my films have got social themes. I agree, but I've not been picking social themes. वो automatically हो जाता है. See, the thing is that I've always been someone who's loved stories. Growing up, as a child also, I used to love stories. I used to listen to my grandmother's story. She used to tell us stories, and cook in the house would tell us stories, and Hawa Mahal would come on radio. So I used to love listening to Hawa Mahal. I don't know how many of you even know what it is. The youngsters, I don't think will know what is Hawa Mahal. It was like a radio skit, You remember what it was?
Yes,
yeah, hi, how are you? So I used to love stories, and it wasn't so thought out as people may imagine, but I just felt instinctively that when I've done a certain kind of film, then I don't want to do the same thing again. It's boring for me. It's not fun. It's not exciting. Same चीज आप दोबारा कर रहे हो, same चीज आप 10 दफा कर रहे हो. So I can't do it only. So that is why right from the beginning I've chosen different kinds of films. Because before Sitare, I was told you must take on an action film because that's what's running. Big.
This pan-India, what they call pan-India.
Pan-India, or massive action thriller kind of a film, spy film or something. And it's a nice idea. I'm not denying that I should do an action film, but I need to get something which excites me. And what excited me was this Spanish film called Champions, which we made into Tare Zameen Par. And such a beautiful film. It just won my heart. It just won my heart. So when something touches me so deeply, then I have to do that. I can't do anything else. So against the advice of people close to me, I ended up doing a film, on disabilities, on challenges. And I was told by everyone that this film is not going to work. And people don't like to watch people with disabilities on screen, and audiences don't like to go to theaters for these kind of films. They want to have a good time, so why are you making this film? But I think the audience has proved everyone wrong, and the way the film got the reaction, the kind of love and respect the film got was, unprecedented. So I am really happy that audiences, don't only want to watch one kind of film. I feel it conquers even death. दोनों साथ में मरते हैं. So in one line you're telling the story. मैं ये कहना चाह रहा हूँ. A lot of Hindi films have a very common premise, which is good always wins over evil. So this is a very common premise. Most films you will find this is the premise. So I realized that period was the real learning for me. Even something like what is a premise I actually learned when I was 7 years old. एक लाइन में कहानी बताना है. क्या है आपकी कहानी? दंगल. What is it? मारी चोरियां चोरों से कम है कि एक लाइन में पूरी कहानी है. So that's a very these are things I picked up, and I think my strengths with scripting is because of my childhood that I spent a lot of time with writers. तो वो एक फिल्म है जो without hearing script I did it because I did not have the courage to ask my father again for the script after that. I said नहीं जो है मेरे को set पे बोलो मैं करूँगा. So that's one film I did without hearing the script. And also each time my father wanted me to do it in a particular way and I didn't think I should do it that way. I didn't have the courage to tell him because I tried. Once in a while I tried. I got a shouting. आप हमको समझाएंगे. I said नहीं हम नहीं समझाएंगे. So that was one of those films. Hey, by the way, it did well. Huh?
It did well.
Yeah, it was shocking.
No, actually, I'm telling you.
मैं सच बोल रहा हूँ. नहीं गाने अच्छे थे. It did not do well in Bombay and all that. Mumbai did not do well, but in the interiors it was a super hit.
No, that
Nagin and all people were just lapped it up.
Yeah. But what prompts you?
I'll tell you why.
What prompts you to act in
I'll answer your question. See, I've been to film festivals as a jury also. So I know what happens and how these awards are given.
That's why we love Aamir Khan.
No, I'm telling you.
That's why we love Aamir Khan.
तो मेरे को पता है क्या होता है वो सब. I'm saying, and I'm not blaming anyone. You see, I was in a jury once, and there was, I don't want to name the festival and all. It's not nice. I've been in two juries, and in both the juries, the discussions were so absurd. I couldn't understand what's happening. For example, in the first jury, every time an American film would come for consideration, all the remaining members would say, that's an American film. They didn't even want to consider it because of its nationality. I was forced to stand up and tell the jury, we are not supposed to measure films based on their nationality. It's irrelevant where the film is from. We are only supposed to judge the merit of the film. आप country का नाम क्यों ला रहे हो बीच में? This is in a top festival. So see the thinking. If I was not sitting there, you understand what I'm saying? In another festival, there was this film called, I don't want to name it, I won't say. Anyway, there was a very good film. Let me put it this way. It was a fantastic film, one of my favorite films. और उसी फेस्टिवल में और भी अच्छी अच्छी फिल्में थी और भी अच्छी और बुरी दोनों थी. So the entire jury wanted to give the award to one film. And that film, I don't know whether you can call it a film also. I'm not sure. The reason they wanted to give that film the award is because the filmmaker was a very highly regarded offbeat filmmaker. Highly respected filmmaker. His film was also in the running, so they all wanted to give him. So I only asked the jury one question. I said, tell me the story of that film. मेरे को कहानी बता दो. 100% उसको award दे देंगे.
In one line.
No, in 30,000 lines. I gave them the full scope. I said, take as many lines as you want. Then I made them realize what they were going to give the award to. Then I fought. Have you all seen Ek Ruka Hua Faisla? 12 Angry Men. Like 12 Angry Men, I fought, and that film, which was a really good film, finally got the award. And I had to win over each person one by one with my discussion. But what I'm trying to say is that at best, we are incapable of judging good films. And at worst, we are corrupt. So which is why I feel कि यार यहाँ पे मैं टाइम क्यों वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ? मैं ऑडियंस के लिए फिल्म बना रहा हूँ. Who am I making the film for? Audience. Audience has liked it. I've got my award. I am not searching for any other award after that.